Guys, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. So today's episode is story time, which means I will be sharing a piece of myself with you and being a bit more vulnerable. So where do I start? When I started Wisdom Wednesday, it was really on a whim. I had no idea what I wanted it to become. I was doing it because really a friend of mine said to me at some point, why don't you post videos instead of the pieces of writing that you do? Because one, people have a short attention span, and secondly, they're more visual. And so Wisdom Wednesday was born, literally. And part of it was for me to share my ideas and thoughts on pieces of wisdom, on things that I had learned, my experiences that would hopefully inspire, motivate, empower, and transform my viewers. Also, I always aspired to be as truthful and as honest, as authentic as possible. But what I realized was that being authentic and truthful meant that I had to be honest with myself around my intentions. And so in the beginning, part of it was I was really concerned with the number of likes I received, the number of followers I gained, the commentary that I'd received from you guys, particularly the good ones. That sort of fed my ego. But as some of you might know, artists and creators, whenever you put a piece of yourself out into the world, you hope and pray that it is liked and acknowledged. And so sometimes you then create from that space and you use that space as your driving force. But then there comes a time where there's an inner stirring that happens that requires you to then create not from that winning formula, but rather from a place of truth and love. And then there starts to happen the inner conflict. And the reason I'm sharing all of this is because I recently listened to a podcast. Just by the way, I never used to enjoy podcasts. I couldn't stand the fact that there was somebody in my ear and I couldn't see what they were doing. I'm a very visual person in that sense. And so my sister and two friends of mine, Zani and Tiani, recently introduced me to podcasts, and I absolutely love them to the point where I've incorporated them into my self-care practice. And so once a day, I listen to at least one podcast, whether it's on leadership, business, it's on spirituality, that it motivates and inspires me. But anyway, I digress. So on this particular podcast, the speaker said something that really hit a chord in me. And she said, we sometimes put things out there because we want to be seen as good. And that left me a bit shook. Like the Americans would say, not shocked, but shocked. Because I then had to question if I'd ever done this with Wisdom Wednesday. And the answer was, yes, I had. There were times where I was serving my own ego and it was done out of selfishness, and you sort of realize that sometimes you can distort something so good through your own pride, through your own ego, and through selfishness. Because the truth is, I'm not perfect. I am highly, highly flawed. Those who know and love me can attest to this. I can sometimes be lazy. I don't always follow through on things. I get bored very quickly. I'm actually shocked that I stuck through with Wisdom Wednesday for as long as I have. And that's for almost 3 years. But I suppose it can attest to the fact that one, I wasn't relying on my own strength, that there's a greater force at work here, and that is God. And that secondly, this is bigger than me. And so I'm here really just to share my thoughts and my ideas with you. My Wisdom Wednesday videos will vary. There'll be times rather where I will post videos or share with you thoughts and ideas that might leave you shook, that would be playful. But this is just me sharing a piece of myself, really. Wisdom Wednesday is a gift from me. It is an invitation to you to experience humanity with its flaws, with its graces, through my lenses. And that's really what this is. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you all next week, Wednesday. God bless.